Lila was 23 and technically homeless. Not sleeping on a friend's couch, homeless, more like carrying everything I own in a broken backpack, homeless. Her savings had run out 3 months ago when the cafe she worked at closed overnight. Since then she had learned the exact price of pride, 180 Indian rupees for a single decent meal, 50 Indian rupees for a night in a women's shelter if she got there before 8, and 0 rupees for sleeping on the platform near the old metro station. Tonight, though, she looked like someone who had never known hunger. The dress was a miracle wrapped in dusty plastic. She had found it 2 weeks earlier while sorting clothes at a high-end donation center where she volunteered for free meals. A creamy silver gown with delicate beadwork on the shoulders and a skirt that moved like water. Someone rich had worn it once to a wedding or gala and then tossed it away like it was nothing. Lila had stared at it for a long time before hiding it behind a pile of winter coats. On the night of the event, she changed in the public restroom of a fancy mall, heart-hammering. She washed her face, brushed her hair with her fingers, and dabbed on the last bit of lipstick she owned. When she looked in the mirror, she almost didn't recognize herself. The girl staring back looked like she belonged in ballrooms, not on train platforms. The invitation had come by accident. A rich college friend of her late mother had posted on social media about a charity gala for young artists. All aspiring creatives welcome, it said. Lila had messaged her on a whim, mentioning her mother's name. The woman replied with a guest pass out of pity. Now Lila stood outside the glittering hotel, the silver dress brushing the red carpet. Security let her in after a confused double take. Inside, crystal chandeliers dripped light onto people who had never counted coins for bus fare. Waiters offered tiny plates of food that cost more than Lila's weekly budget. She ate 3 canapés slowly, trying not to look starving. A young man in a sharp black suit noticed her. "That dress is incredible," he said, smiling. "You look like you stepped out of a painting." Lila smiled politely. "Thank you. It's borrowed." They talked for 20 minutes. His name was Arjun. He designed sustainable fashion and spoke passionately about giving opportunities to unknown talents. For a moment, Lila let herself pretend. She told him she was a writer. It wasn't entirely a lie, she used to write stories on her phone during night shifts. He seemed genuinely interested. Then someone called his name. He excused himself, promising to return. Lila drifted toward the balcony, needing air. The city lights sparkled below like scattered jewels she could never afford. Her feet hurt in the slightly too big heels she'd found with the dress. Hunger gnawed at her again, sharper now after teasing her stomach with fancy bites. A woman in a red sari, clearly one of the organizers, approached her with a gentle but firm look. "Excuse me, dear. Could I see your invitation?" Lila's stomach dropped. She handed over the printed pass. The woman studied it, then looked at Lila more carefully, the slightly frayed backpack half hidden behind a pillar, the worn nails, the way the dress hung just a little loose on her thin frame. "This pass was issued to Priya Sharma's guest," the woman said softly. "You're not Priya." "No," Lila whispered. "I'm her daughter's friend. Or I used to be." The woman sighed, not unkindly. I'm sorry, but we've had some gate crashers tonight. I need you to leave. Heat rushed to Lila's face. She nodded quickly, eyes burning. As she turned to go, she caught her reflection in a glass door. Beautiful dress, broken girl. The contrast had never felt so cruel. She was almost at the exit when Arjun appeared again, slightly out of breath. Lila, wait. I was looking for you. There's a small showcase upstairs for new writers and artists. I told them about you. She froze. The organizer was watching. I can't, Lila said, voice cracking. I don't belong here. Arjun looked confused. Then his eyes traveled over her, the dress, the cheap backpack peeking out, her tired eyes. Understanding dawned, but not the cruel kind. Maybe not yet, he said quietly. But the dress fits you better than most people in this room. Come on. Just 5 minutes. No one will kick you out if you're with me. Lila hesitated. Pride and hunger fought inside her chest. In the end, hunger, and the tiny spark of hope, won. She followed him upstairs. She didn't win any prize that night. She didn't suddenly get discovered. But she read a short piece she had written about sleeping in metro stations, about the strange loneliness of cities. Some people listened. A few even wiped their eyes. Arjun introduced her to a woman who ran a small writing residency that provided housing. It wasn't a fairy tale ending. The residency interview was in 3 weeks. Lila still slept on the platform that night, carefully folding the silver dress back into plastic so it wouldn't get ruined. But something had shifted. 2 days later, she found a part-time job at a bookstore. The pay was small, but it came with a corner to sleep in until she could afford a room. Every evening after closing, she wrote. Sometimes, when the city felt too heavy, she remembered how it felt to wear that dress, not like a fraud, but like someone who was allowed to dream in beautiful clothes, even if only for one night. The dress still hangs in the bookstore's back room, wrapped carefully. Lila hasn't worn it again. She's saving it for the day she no longer needs to prove she belongs. She'll wear it when the dream finally fits her life, not the other way around.